Douglas Cooling and Heating, serving the Birmingham area for 38 years. 988-3706. That's Douglas.
This is your Weather Xtreme video for Saturday, January the 7th. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters, and after a relatively dry start to 2012, looks like we're going to see some wet weather. Here's a look at the radar composite across the southeastern United States, and you can see that there are an abundance of small and light showers. I know at my house I had 0.04 of an inch of rain already this morning in a passing shower, so not a great deal of rain, but a much wetter day than we've seen so far for 2012. We can see there are some breaks in the clouds as well as some clouds as we look out from the Birmingham Skycam image this morning. And then a similar view as we look out over Hamilton. And of course, once again, a little bit of patchy fog out there. The culprit for us for the next several days is going to be a cold front that will become stationary across central and north Alabama. And that front will be the focus for both moisture and for showers as we get little impulses that move through the flow in the upper atmosphere. There's one of those impulses moving across right now in the central Mississippi River Valley. You can see another trough out over the northwestern part of the country, and it's going to be a series of those until the biggest one finally comes out around Tuesday, early Wednesday time frame, with some potential, at least right now. It's marginal, but certainly some potential, something we will want to continue to track, and that is the potential for some severe weather. Ahead of the front, temperatures very mild. Look at that, 50s all the way up into West Virginia this morning. And remember, these are morning temperatures, so these are like 12Z, so that's around 6 o'clock. And across central Alabama, temperatures very mild. As a matter of fact, these current temperatures at 6 a.m. look a whole lot like the typical highs for this time of year around here. So we're actually going to be heading into the 60s, I think. QPF does tell the story over the next 5 days. Focus for rain stretching from the mid-Atlantic states all the way across north and central Alabama down into East Texas. And I'm sure Texas is going to be happy with all of this rain going on in their area after the 2011 and all the drought and wildfires they had. But it looks like on the order of, say 1.5 to 2.5 inches of rain possible over the next several days through about Wednesday before the rain finally ends. All right, here's a look at the 06Z GFS model run, and here's the upper air chart, the 500 millibar chart for Sunday at midday, 18Z or noon, and you can see we're generally under a ridge, but notice the little 12 there, the little yellow 12, that indicating that there is a little bit of a weak disturbance in the flow passing by, and that is going to help to generate showers, kind of like what you're seeing out there right now. So not an all-day rain kind of situation. When we go into Monday, that big trough out over the west becomes, it is a closed low. It's over basically West Texas, southeastern New Mexico. And that, of course, with the front in our position, will help to create rain over Texas. But with the front in our position, we're going to be in showers. So just one of those things that, you might get wet, you might not, especially on Monday. Looks like Monday would be one of the drier days. That closed low comes across Texas, so that by Tuesday it's positioned just about over the Dallas-Fort Worth-Denton area. And, of course, with that, it's beginning to generate a low in the northwestern Gulf of Mexico, and we're seeing a nice rain shield. Also notice the 540 thickness under that, so closed low, weatherman's woe. This is a cold core system, so we'll have to be watching for that. And you can see the surface low kind of stretching from New Orleans up across Louisiana into Arkansas. Now, looking very quickly at the European is actually in very close agreement. Not quite as cold with the cold core as the GFS, with a 548 contour in there. You could always draw a 540 possibly, but the model isn't, so that indicates that it gets down maybe to 542, but not all the way to 540. But the position of the low is pretty good in position of the precip shield. Now let's take an intermediate time, and the low moves up into the vicinity of Jonesboro, Arkansas, with the cold front stretching down along the Alabama-Mississippi line. And as we see that, the big question is going to be, what's the status of severe weather? Well, Of course, the timing's bad because we're not getting any kind of heat of the day, so we don't have the sun to benefit because this is Tuesday night at midnight. Of course, the GFS still indicating a cold core low. You see the 540 thickness over northwestern Louisiana. So let's take a look at what the GFS is generating in the way of Cape values, and here's the situation. And this is why SPC is not jumping on anything in the beyond the third day into the fourth through eighth days, because the problem is the shear appears to be there, but the instability doesn't appear to be there. Now, there certainly are indications we may get into the warm sector, so we're going to have to be watching what the circumstances will be as far as how far north, if the instability can come and work its way further north. So we'll be watching that. That leads us to Wednesday, and the closed low moves on by. Another one drops in behind it out over the Four Corners area, out over the southwestern U.S. And so that should improve weather over us. But notice the cold core, the 540 line. So it looks like, at least with the GFS positions, looks like there is a possibility that there may be a few snow flurries, especially across northern Alabama. Now, we get out into Thursday. The closed low moves out now rather quickly as the trough comes across the Great Lakes, that trough helping to kick that closed low on out of the southeastern U.S., and that should put us into dry weather as we head into Thursday, and certainly improving conditions. Cold, not too terribly cold. You see the 540 line only making it down into about the let's see, what is that? Western Kentucky, about the Paducah area, Cairo, Illinois, something like that. Then we head into Friday, and the trough across the Great Lakes moves on out, but not really getting into the southeastern U.S. that badly. So we're staying relatively mild as we pretty much stay under a southwesterly flow. The southwesterly flow continues, and the ridge pumps up as the closed low comes out of the southwestern U.S. So what does that mean? That means another round of wet weather possible starting on Saturday, a week from today. So the pattern staying very, very active. Now, moving out into voodoo country, that comes by very quickly, and as we see on the Monday the 16th, it looks like, seems a natural progression here. We should end up drying out, and we don't get terribly cold. You can see there's a real absence of amplitude to the flow. We do see that low coming across the northwestern or the northern part of the Rocky Mountains, so that by Thursday, the 19th, that is coming across the mid-Mississippi River Valley and dragging another front through the area, which would bring us a possibility of some rain. And then we see another bit of a trough, but once again, these do not have high amplitude to them. They're not really tapping into the cold of Canada. Well, that'll do it for the Weather Xtreme video this morning. I certainly hope that you have a wonderful weekend. If you're local to us here in the Birmingham, Central Alabama area, be sure to catch the weather on 3340. I'll be filling in for Ashley tonight and again on Sunday, so be sure to catch the weather there. I'm Brian Peters. Thanks for tuning in, and Godspeed.
Thank you for trusting us to be your #1 source for news
in all of Central Alabama.
in back-to-back ratings periods.
More people watched ABC 3340
than any other station in Birmingham.